Research indicates that up to 75% of individuals with borderline personality disorder reported a history of childhood trauma. And that percentage doesn't include necessarily instances where the parents didn't consistently show up to take care of that child's needs. And in some instances, that could happen very legitimately in that one of the other children was very, very ill, or the parent themselves was ill and couldn't take care of that child consistently when they were very young. Unfortunately, that and other types of scenarios that don't necessarily get categorized as trauma can have very significant impacts on children's development and their nervous system. Individuals with borderline personality disorder are diagnosed based on manuals that are used across the world and that are very accepted clinically. Those symptoms are things like emotional dysregulation and relationship issues and other things that are highly overlapping with the diagnosis of complex PTSD. Also, the MRIs and those brain studies are showing that the same regions are impacted on individuals with complex PTSD as individuals with borderline personality disorder. This is why those experts out there, the world-renowned trauma experts, are starting to say maybe borderline personality disorder would be better categorized under a severe trauma response. So if you have symptoms of PTSD and then you have the symptoms of borderline personality disorder, a better diagnosis for you actually might be complex PTSD. The problem is that when you have a wrong diagnosis, sometimes you get sent for treatments that aren't as helpful as they could be. The good news with this is whether you have been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, complex PTSD, or both borderline personality disorder and complex PTSD, the evidence-based treatment approaches for trauma are being found effective either way. So that would be things like EMDR or internal family systems or CBT or any number of different treatment approaches. If you're curious about that, go to my website at www.resolvetorise.com. I've listed all kinds of books on trauma and treatment, as well as videos that explain all different kinds of evidence-based approaches. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email through my website or put a comment on YouTube.